Okay. All right. We're actually going live with a different screen. We're about to put the information out. We're so sorry that for whatever strange reason, uh, we get this situation where, unfortunately, we have to set things back up again. It's weird. We apologize. Definitely want to get this information out. So, It's live videos. Let me get this live. Let's say upcoming. Hey. We're going live. Can you? I don't know. That's the old one. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Looks like we got folks on board. Just give me 1 second here, just handling the little technical difficulties that we had going on. We definitely got some great information. Want to make sure we get that to you as quickly as possible. Give me 1 second here. I appreciate everybody who's on board. Yep. We want to make sure we get everything back to where it should be. Hey, William Townsend, I love the African fly. It really works. Hey, glad to hear that. Always glad to hear that. That makes a big difference. Just give me 1 second here. I'm going to share our link with my team right quick so we can make sure we're providing all the services we can. Okay. You got it? Yeah? Okay. Hold on. One more thing here. We're about to rock and roll, guys. Sorry for the interruption there, but technology is great until it's not. So, yep, just sent that to you, Vance. The Air's Naturals. All right, cool. Oh, I need to do one more thing myself. Here we go. Let me do this like this. Boom. Come on. Work with me, people. All right. Yep. Let me get to my YouTube studio. All right. Hey, Justin, how's it going? Give me 1 more second. We'll be ready to rock and roll. Let's see. Videos and let's go live. All right. Okay. So, once again, sorry for that delay, but yeah, we're going to have a good old time with this one because it's very, very interesting. And Justin, hey, we're going to get to that question about African fly. Charles Hart, we're going to break it all the way down for you. Eating watermelon before sex. Ricardo, that sounds like a professional right there. You know what you're talking about. All right. So let's get back into it. Sorry for that delay there. What we're talking about is how to get how to have better sex so you can have your woman wanting to have more sex with you. And as I mentioned before, it's all about upping your game in terms of getting the right information. The more information you have in terms of how to touch, where to touch, what to do, the better you're going to be. This is a lifelong learning situation. Your body changes over time. Her body changes over time. You want to be able to keep upping your game. So that's what we're going to talk about right now. We even got guys in there doing great, giving out great information already, because obviously you want to, I would recommend the African fly, but it's also taking watermelon before sex. Wonderful for the L-citrulline. So yeah, we want to get past that whole thing of having high school sex, and you want to be serious about this because there are a lot of guys out there who are worried about, if their woman's going to leave them or something like that. If you suck in bed, it doesn't help, obviously. So let's get past that. Let's keep in mind the things that you need to do. If you want to take some notes, that'd be great. So let's start with the first thing first. You need to stretch. Stretch beforehand. Sex is a physical activity. It's almost like a sport. You're into it. You're doing things. It may be whether you're doing your 3 minutes or your 35 minutes or your 3 hours, whatever you're doing, there's movement to it. So you need to be stretched, because once you're stretched, you're more physically active. You can move more. You can move faster. You can move and do things at different angles. And just remember, when you're on top of a woman, you're basically in a plank. depending on what you're doing. So you need to be fully stretched. That's the number one thing. And the number two thing is really simple. Keep your socks on. Keep your socks on. The reason for that is because your blood flow comes from your extremities, your hands and your feet, and it comes to your genital region. So you want, your body wants to be in homeostasis. So it's like, okay, your feet are cool. We got to send blood down there, but you want your blood to stay in your genital region. So that's the reason why you keep the socks on, keep your feet warm, and the blood is just flowing. Old school player trick right there. Make sure you check that out. That's something you can do tonight. Prime the pump. This is a good one. This is a good and serious one, because a lot of guys early on, you get the whole idea of like, you're supposed to dive in. Just dive in. That's not enough. What you want to do is what I call priming the pump, and that's when you just move slower. When you're having sex, you're going slower. You're going slower. Even at the beginning, even if she wants you to move faster, it's a tease. It does two things. One, it helps you in terms of it's building up your testosterone, so you'll be able to last longer. It's sort of like in motion foreplay. And for the woman, it's the same thing, because we'll talk about the G-spot later, but it's helping her to get everything going. Sex is not supposed to be like a 2-minute, you're in, you're out. It's supposed to be something that you're building. So this is helping build that process. So you want to take your time, however long that is, take your time building up, and then you want to go faster. It'll help out a lot. And this actually goes into knowing the G-spot. The G-spot is very important. So if a woman's laying down in front of you, presenting herself, and you were to take your fingers and insert and do the come here movement, that inside of her vagina is where the G-spot is. You talk to different women, they'll have different responses to that. Someone's like, yeah, that's where it is. Others are like, no, that's not my spot. So really you have to ask, but from just an analytical, based on her body. You know what I'm talking about. There's a pad at the top of the vagina that's very sensitive, and it has a lot of blood flow that needs to go to it. So the more you're interacting with that, the more blood flow is in that particular area. That's the G-spot. The more sensitive it is, and the better it is in terms of sex. Hey, Jerry, how's it going? Welcome. I'm sorry, what was that, Nick?
Are you still live?
Yes, I believe I'm still live. Yep, we're still live. So, hey, what's up? Got the live stream. All right, cool. Hey, Leeway 300, glad you could make it back. So yeah, you do want to priming the pump, knowing what the G-spot is, especially when you're doing foreplay. If you're using that come hither movement, it helps out a lot, getting her prepared, and sex will be better, last longer. And one thing that guys need to recognize is that we come in different sizes, and so do women in terms of the vaginal size. So that's something to be aware of. Like I said before, when it comes to finding a G-spot, make sure you ask her because it may be slightly different. All right. Here's a great one. Setting a sex trigger. Setting a sex trigger is actually pretty powerful. So here's how this works. Basically, a trigger is set, just a regular trigger is set when a person is in a highly emotional state, they're highly charged, and you touch them in a specific manner. I always use the mush technique, such as, when you're little, you got your big brother and they just, piss you off. Big brothers, what they do, they piss you off. And then while you're really pissed off, they mush you just in the forehead, just tap you like that, and you just get more mad. And so years later, you're bigger, you can beat your brother up now, and this is not a problem anymore, but you and your woman are playing around and she just does the and you go off. You just like, oh, why'd you do that? You think you're better than me? And blah, blah, blah. And she's like, what is going on? We were playing. So really what it comes down to when it comes to setting a sex trigger is that when she is having an orgasm, when you're having an orgasm and you touch them in a specific way. Do you want to be consistent with this until it sets? But, for example, with a young lady years ago, I would just kiss her on the chin right when she was going into orgasm. That's how I set the trigger. So after that, it was all of just a matter of how often, if I was in the mood or something like that, I'd just go over, give her a kiss on the lips like regular. Then I give her a kiss, that same kiss on her chin. That set off the trigger. Now she's interested, like, oh, so what are we doing tonight? Like, yeah, what you're thinking about. That's what we're going to do. So that's a good one to use. Make sure you're using the sex trigger. All right, let's get to another thing that's highly important that a lot of guys don't think about, and it's smell great. I didn't say smell good. I didn't say smell all right. I said smell great. Smell is an emotional sense. It's like if you smell a fire, you're alarmed. If you smell good cooking, you're hungry. If you smell you smell something that doesn't smell right, you know, I got to get out of here. So, you know, smell does convey a lot of meaning. So what you want to do is, first of all, obviously, clean yourself. Make sure if you're having sex or before sex that you're clean to begin with. Then you want to start looking for things that make you smell good. You know, things like Axe deodorant. I don't really recommend it because it has a lot of chemicals in it, but it does work in terms of releasing some level of pheromones and women being attracted to it. I'm only saying it because I've experienced it myself where that worked. However, there are many other things that you can use. One of them is actually an essential oil called Ylang Ylang. That's Ylang, Ylang, Ylang Ylang, spelled twice. You can go to any store, natural food store, they have essential oils there. And you take this and you can just sprinkle it on the bed. And in different cultures, they use that for the wedding ceremony, the first time you're getting together, because it really does help turn you on, especially the women. The thing that you want to be careful of is that you don't, that you're careful as a guy, because it does make the whole process of having an orgasm easier. It makes it more slippery. That's the reason why they have given for people who are getting married. Okay, so be careful with that. But Ylang Ylang does work. It's great. Make sure you check that out. Here's one, just for fun. If you're going down on her, go ahead and take a mint. We're talking about one of those breath mints. I would be careful with those extra strong ones. But you know, when you have a mint in your mouth, it cools your mouth off. It gives her that sensation if you're going down on her, and if she's going down on you, she could use a mint as well. That would help with that situation. So you will be doing good with that. So do want to give a check in right quick. Thanks, Corey, for anatomical. I knew I could say that word. Thanks, Corey. Appreciate that. Hey, Juan. Hey. How's it going? Appreciate you, sir. And good evening too. So FRK. I'm gonna leave the FRK alone. I'm guessing what I'm thinking you mean. Have not heard of American fly? That's because it's African fly, but we'll talk about that in a second. And yeah, we'll get into that. Definitely, no question. So let's keep it rocking and rolling. Feeling bigger while in her. This is for, my guys who are like, okay, I'm not, as big as I would like to be. I just want to make sure she feels it. It's really simple. Grab her by the cheeks and pull her further onto you. So if she's on top, grab her by the cheeks and pull her onto you. That extra pull, that extra friction right there does make a huge difference. You can do the same whether you're on top, she's on top. And, if you're going from behind, it's still the same thing. You want to press. Use the cheeks to press against you. Helps out a lot. Helps out a lot. Oh, and I remember you said stay away from sugar. Yep, stay away from sugar. Lowers your testosterone, lowers your erection. Oh, I guess you meant for the mint. That's a good one. That's a good one. If you are having issues with your erections, using the mint isn't the best idea. Because if you're swallowing it, because sugar does lower your testosterone, but we're not talking about a lot. We're just talking about a mint. Don't take it too far. Hey, just me, appreciate that. Yeah, and there's also a thought about the sugar-free ones. It's really not necessarily just the sugar. Once your body even detects, your tongue detects sugar flavor, any sweetness, it's going to release things in your body. So sugar-free doesn't take it far enough. But yeah, it's only a little mint. You're not supposed to eat it. You're just supposed to have fun with it. Hey, Coach Carp, I'm going to talk about the African fly in 1 second. Got you there, sir. So that's how you feel bigger while in her. That's about the mints. Use your hands a lot. Hands, they're They're sex machines, if you will. So you can touch wherever. We're talking about whether you're pulling her hair, you can go past the obvious things of whether the breast and the booty, things like that. But stroking her legs, her thighs. What you're actually doing is looking for more sensitive spots, because that happens a lot. A lot of times, had an ex who her sensitive spot was behind her left knee. Who knew? How are you going to figure that one out? So it's all about experimentation, using your hands to make sure you're all good. Okay. All right. So here's another one that's highly important. I always recommend this to guys, because especially if you're in a stuck in somewhere in your relationship, you want to bring some excitement, you have to go someplace else. Go someplace else to have sex, because you probably had sex in the same spot so many times you don't remember. It wasn't special. You got your feel on. It was great. However, do you remember it? And a lot of times, whether you need to, just go to a hotel, leave the kids behind, just so you're in a different spot, just so you relax. It doesn't have to be something, extremely serious. Also, maybe find some place that's a little bit off. Some place that, it's like, okay, this is devious, this is sneaky, but you're not getting arrested and you're not getting fired. I've known some people who are like, oh yeah, while at the job, it's fun. You also get fired. So, it's hard to be cleaning out your desk and walking out and people are like, what happened? Well, my girlfriend came through, and then, it's too much, too much. So, you want to go someplace different. And I think the most important thing of all, guys, is to make sure you're paying attention. I mean, when it comes down to it, every person is different. The same woman that you're with 10 years ago, she may have liked something that she doesn't like anymore, or is 10 years ago, she would never do that. And now it's like, well, come on, let's go ahead and try it. You never know. So pay attention, ask questions. Ask on a scale of 1 to 10, how does this feel? So when I lick you here, how does that feel? 1 to 10. And I touch you here, how does that feel? 1 to 10. When I'm upside down, whatever it is, ask how it is, and make sure she asks. Make sure you're giving answers. That communications is highly important, especially when you're going for the next thing that I'm going to mention right now, which is that expert level technique, which is be very careful with this. You have to pay attention to the women when you're going through this process. But here's the thought process. Women can handle 10 times more pain than men. That's the reason why women give birth. That's the reason why women live longer. Even if they have cancer, a man and a woman have cancer. A man is like, too much pain, checking out. A woman is like, I have to be here for the kids, and they graduate, the grandkids, so she'll be around for another 10 years. So there's that difference. When it comes to having sex, some women like to go hard. I mean, there's all these songs about blow my back out. It sounds like you're being physically violent. And if you think about it, it's one of those weird things. If you're a kid, you ever snuck in on your parents, and it just happened to walk in on your parents, is like, are you killing mommy, or is she happy? I can't tell. So there is that whole thing of being able to go harder. So, for a lot of guys, they're thinking like, no, it's going to hurt her. Nah, player, 8 pounds. 8 pounds coming out. You're not going anywhere near that. So, but once again, you do want to be careful. Every woman is different. You don't want to just go in like, all women like it when they do like. No, obviously not. That doesn't make any sense. But you want to be aggressive. You can be aggressive. And, when they say slap that ass, whatever works for both of you. Remember, that's an expert level technique. So there we go. Just in conclusion, let's run down this list right quick, and we're going to get to your questions there. You do not want to have the same old boring sex, because it is the same old boring sex. You want to stretch beforehand. You want to keep your socks on, just to keep your feet cool. Make sure you got some fly socks and have something with holes in it. All right. You want to prime the pump. Know where the G spot is. Use that to your advantage. Make sure you're setting those sex triggers. Smell great. That's an easy one. Go ahead and get your fragrance game on. Step that up. Use a mint when going down. Use that technique of using your hands to pull it to you to feel bigger while in her, and use your hands to intensify sex. And of course, go someplace different. Don't be boring on that. Go someplace different. Yep. Hey, Herman, I like that. You must communicate. Plan, but don't plan. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's controlled free time, I guess you would say. But yeah, so you want to pay attention. And last but not least, you can go hard. You can go hard. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and get to these questions because I see you guys have been popping them in there. We got some good questions. My team, if you guys see anything, let me know. But let me just run down the list. Justin Shankman, what is the best way to take African fly? African fly is a liquid tincture, and you just want to take basically a teaspoonful. So you're taking 3 dropperfuls of that in the morning, in the afternoon, and early evening. The reason why we say early evening is because it is a stimulant and it will keep you awake. So yeah, that's the best way to take it. You want to take it depending on where you are on the sexual performance scale. You want to continue taking it until you see the results that you want. And of course, use the other videos, the coaching services we have, so that you can get better to the point that you don't need African fly or anything else. Got it? Cool. All right, let's keep going. Charles, how do you get African fly? Go to africanfly.com. Never heard of it? Oh, sorry about that. We're trying to make that up. We're trying to let everybody know about African fly. All right. All right, William. All right, glad to help. But do I, William Townsend, you have helped me out a lot. Thank you so much for all you do, but I need help to let meat go. Hold on, let me speak on that 1 second. See that? Yeah. There you go. All right. All right. I'm actually going to do a video about that. That's sort of scheduled out, but I'm going to go through the entire process that I use in terms of getting over meat, because it's, I always say it's be blunt, it's a mind fuck ocean. You were born into a mind fuck ocean. It was like, there's meat everywhere. I personally, I never saw a chicken until I was 44. And that's because I went to a zoo and everybody's like, how are you not going to see a chicken? Because I live in the suburbs of Washington, D.C. You went to the National Zoo. You do not need to go look for a chicken. You just eat the daggone things. I've never seen a live salmon, but I've eaten salmon. So, but we're born into this situation where there's just food all around us and there's meat all around us and it causes problems. So I'm going to go through a whole video on how to get off of that, because it's a process. It took me years to do it. And it's still situations. I talk about triggers with that. It's like, hey, Thanksgiving. How do you handle Thanksgiving if you're just now going off of meat? We'll talk about all of that in a video. So I hope I got you a little bit right there with the answer there. Douglas Gilbert, you said lift heavy weights to build testosterone. What is your thoughts on light weights with more reps versus heavy with less reps? Really, it comes down to what you're doing, what your goal is. So obviously, a marathon runner trains differently than a bodybuilder. The unfortunate thing with the way that the Americans have taken over and done this whole thing is that we take it too far. So we have people just going to a gym and they'll sit there on a weight machine and just move the weights and sit there, and then go to another machine and move the weights, do sets, whatever, sit there, and then they're actually getting enough blood flow. So all of that to say, if you need to do more cardio to lose the waste that's on your body, fat, waste, you lose that waste through breathing. So there's a time when you do need to do more HIIT, like you were saying, more HIIT. If you're trying to lose that weight, more HIIT with less weights. You're trying to get that balance, because the tearing of muscle is what lets your body know that, okay, you tore the muscle strands, go to sleep so you can get your testosterone built up so you can take care of that muscle. We got some leftover for other things. So that's one side of it. But if you have a lot of extra waste on your body, that's lowering your testosterone too. So it's, doing HIIT with light weights actually is very good if you're in the process of losing weight. If you need to gain weight, then you can go heavier with the weights. I hope that answered your question there, Douglas. MRD, HD Music, have not heard of American Fly. This is African Fly. Is there a clip to show the product and procedure and its effectiveness? Yes, africanfly.com. We try to put as much information on there as possible. In fact, we have a video wall with a lot of my other videos that can be helpful to you right there on the channel, on the website. Yep. Charles, yeah, talked about that sugar. Any ideas on bigger loads? That's always a fun one. Basically, you want to get your zinc in. Zinc helps with the production of sperm, also helps with hair. But what you want to do is, you want to get a zinc supplement. Now, don't go too hard with zinc supplements. You can still get zinc from fruits and vegetables and plants and things like that, just not a lot of it. So zinc is a element that's in the crust of the planet. And so that's the reason why, what lives in crust? Oysters. So that's the reason why they say eat oysters for zinc. That's because you're getting the crust from the oyster. There you go. So the zinc will help you with those loads. Okay. Coach Carp, when should you take African fly? I think I mentioned this before. In the morning, afternoon, and early evening, because it is a stimulant. You want 1 teaspoon. So Roots Melanin Plus, love that name, man. Is there any serious method to get my penis bigger? I mean, natural. Yeah. Did do a video about that. There is a process. It's not, it's not going to be 4 inches in 4 weeks or anything crazy like that. Basically, most men are 20 to 30% smaller than what they should be, simply because of the way we live. Because of that, in terms of, we're sitting down, you don't have the blood flow that you need, you're not getting the testosterone, all those different things. So the process that I'll outline in the video is basically you have to be healthy to begin with, because you need that blood flow. When I get sexual performance scale, you need to be 8, 9, or 10. So things are already working. If you're having normal erections, you're on your way to being able to get to your largest size possible. We talk about taking African fly. We talk about getting to sleep and all the other things that you need to do. And there's some techniques that we use. So make sure to check out that video on the channel. Okay. Juan, Listerine mouthwash works too. I haven't tried that one. So I'm assuming you're talking about going down using Listerine. That's an interesting one. All right. Let's see. Let me see. All right. Yaz and Az, how do you go harder without busting? Well, if you're doing it correctly, if you're priming the pump correctly, it actually helps you in terms of building up your stamina, building up your testosterone, as it were. So the more you're priming the pump, you're going slow, it allows you to relax, allows you to get to the point where it's like, well, yeah, you want to go until you're ready to. And also, definitely taking African fly helps, of course, with that whole stamina, testosterone, things like that, so you can last longer as well. Yeah, I'm quite sure I did a video about that. I'm quite sure. V Loungeos 86 just found the other day. Love your channel. Thanks. Okay. All right. So, can cardio RSD? Can cardio decrease my testosterone level? Yeah, if you're going too hard, if you're going too far with it. Now, I want to be careful because some people are like, oh no, you got to have cardio. I'm not against cardio. I'm saying whatever exercise you need to do, if you're doing it for a specific reason, lifting heavy weights will increase your testosterone. Going too far, like, running, like a half marathon every other day is going to lower your testosterone. Now, there's some guys who, they do this for a living. They run and they have sex. So it's like, well, the testosterone is an issue. If your testosterone is an issue, this is the way you train for it. That's the thing you need to watch out for. Just me. Also, can you overdo Kegel exercises? I haven't heard of anyone overdoing Kegel exercises. I'm not the biggest proponent of Kegel exercises just because you use your Kegel muscles every time you go to the bathroom. So if it works for you, I say great. I just haven't come across it personally where guys are saying it made that huge of a difference. So, but I'm never going to tell someone if it's working for you, keep going. You would have to do a lot to get that small of a muscle to burn out because it's not something you use consistently. All right, so let me see. Uh, uh, Juan, how does tobacco affect blood flow? Um, it basically just it's a poison to your body. You're taking in smoke. That nicotine is just a poison to your body, and so your body's going to react and not well. And part of that process is like it's trying to get rid of something that shouldn't be inside your system. So you now have poisons inside of your system, and so that's going to mess with your blood flow because your body's like, okay. Whenever your body needs blood flow to a certain point, it has to move blood flow from somewhere else. And the number one place it's going to remove it from is like your penis, because it's like, why do you need to have blood here when there's some danger going on in your lungs? So, it's going to mess with your blood flow. It's going to mess with the inner lining of your veins. It's just a problem. So yeah, it's definitely going to mess with your erections. Let me see. Joseph Toussaint, is there any side effects with taking African fly? Two side effects. One, your hands and feet will feel cool because the blood is going to your genital regions. And the second thing is that you will, it becomes harder to go to sleep if you take it late in the evening. Outside of that, we have a very low return rate. It's like below 1% for African fly. And just because it works. But, it's outside of that, people just like it. It just works, no side effects. All right. So Yazin, could you explain priming the pump? Once again, priming the pump is when you're going in for having sex, you're taking your time. Your whatever position you're in, you're taking your time. However long you need just to get it to the point where it's just a steady rhythm. It's a steady rhythm. It's a marathon, not a race. So the more you're in that steady rhythm, the more you guys are combining together with that steady rhythm, then you can start increasing it. So you're priming the pump. You're making it more of a tease. It's a tease while having sex. So that's what you're looking to do. Big Coop, can weight affect your erections? Absolutely. Absolutely. I've been doing this for years. I can actually look at guys and get a good idea of where they are, especially with certain types of weight. So how does weight affect it? The number one way is that it's called aromatase. And that's when your body is turning testosterone, which is needed to fuel an erection, into estrogen. And so you see guys with beer bellies. That's what that is. Beer actually stimulates estrogen production in your body. So that's the reason why you get a beer belly. Even though I know some guys out there, even some guys in this room, upset about that right now. That's what beer, is that your beer? That's what beer does to you. And also for guys who have like that hard stomach, it's called visceral fat. And that's the stomach that gathers around your organs on the inside of your stomach. That's very dangerous. That's because with the visceral fat is supposed to be, it's waste. So if you have waste too close to your internal organs, it's going to cause problems down the road. So for my guys who have that hard stomach, work out hard. You have to do that. Seriously. Okay. Can you talk about muscle relaxation during sex? That's an interesting one. Muscle relaxation? Really, during sex is just breathing. It's just, and this is important because a lot of people don't think about it in this way, in that, when you're doing any exercise, you breathe. And, it's like from those old karate films, they were like, hey, the teacher, his one secret was that his breathing technique. Yeah. You want to have your breathing down. So while you're having sex, the fastest way to relax your muscles is just to breathe and just mentally just recognize, like, just relaxing. The more relaxed you are, the more you're going to enjoy it anyway. So you may want to consider doing meditation right quick beforehand. I don't care if it's just 10, 20 seconds of meditation just to relax yourself going in. And also using yoga can help you with that level of, movement while breathing. So techniques for you right there. Joseph Toussaint, do you take it continually or just before sex? We recommend taking it depending on your level of sexual health. So scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being you need to go to the hospital, 10 means everything works. Most guys between a 5 and a 7. And if you're trying to get higher on this scale, then yeah, that's what you're taking African fly for. What up? I lost that question right there. uh, so I hope that answers you. Please pop that up again. Got a couple of questions coming through here quickly. Does high blood pressure affect sexual performance? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the reason why they, tell you to go to a doctor. Before working out, you want to go to a doctor, things like that. And that's because if you have something wrong with you, once again, sex is a physical activity. If you're in there are men who have died while having sex. So high blood pressure, is a problem. It's not only a problem, obviously, for your health, but it's going to be a problem for your erections if you're not already experiencing that. So you want to do whatever is necessary. Obviously, as we mentioned before, cutting out meat does lower your blood pressure. Eating more fruits and vegetables increases blood flow, and especially things like, and I would say, look at watermelon, things like that. With the L-citrulline, that'll help dilate your blood vessels so you get more blood going through. Okay. Can African fly help with diabetes? Yes. And the reason for that is because 50% of men with diabetes have low testosterone. They go hand in hand. African fly increases your testosterone. One of the early investors in African fly was a family friend who had diabetes. So now, other thing about diabetes, just in case you haven't heard, because a lot of people haven't, you can be cured. Let me say healed from diabetes. Diabetes is you just have way too much meat, type 2 diabetes. You have way too much meat in your system. The blood sugar can't get through the blood vessels because they're coated with fat to make your body operate correctly. However, by doing fasting, and also just stop eating meat, just go fruits and vegetables, you can cure yourself of diabetes. Once again, healed. When I say cure, it's like it's not going to come back. If you do all the things you need to do, get off the meat, eat more fruits and vegetables, get your exercise on, blah, 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 all that wonderful stuff, you get off of diabetes and then you go back to it, can you get diabetes again? Of course. So it never cured, you're healed. You're healed. How much does dairy affect someone's performance? A lot. They did an experiment with young boys where they gave them milk, cow's milk, and testosterone dropped immediately, which makes sense because you're taking mother's milk from a giant female. And also it was not designed for humans at all. So there's a lot of other things that go along with taking milk, with drinking milk. So I would suggest switching over to almond milk. There are plenty of plant-based milks out there now. Yeah, check those out. And hey guys, if you hadn't had a chance yet, please go ahead and hit that like button. We want to make sure we help YouTube with this algorithm so we can get this message out to as many people as possible. Hit that like button, please. All right. What are the best foods to eat before sex? I would actually only recommend one, which is watermelon. After that, and even watermelon like a half an hour beforehand. There's a couple of things to remember about having sex. Once again, it's a physical activity. It does use your entire body. No, you don't get cramped like, they tell you don't eat before you go swimming because you're using your entire body. But, will it affect your performance? Especially if you eat meat, it will affect your performance, especially if you have sugar. So fruits and vegetables, have yourself a salad all day long, feed each other grapes. Ed Charles, I sent you an email, I never got an answer. Hey, sorry about that, Ed. We get quite a few emails, hopefully we can hit us up again and hopefully we can get that taken care of for you. What kind of, hold up, make sure I'm getting my questions together here. Uncle B, does apple cider vinegar help with blood flow? It does. I don't know all the specific mechanisms that make that work. I was just looking at something about that the other day, so I don't want to speak out of turn. But it definitely helps. My thing is with people who take things just a little bit too far. So they're like, if you're going to take anything, this just goes across the board. if you're going to take something and you're adding it into your diet and you have a specific concern, I'm not getting the erections that I want, I'm not getting the blood flow, wherever it is, make sure you're taking it and then pay attention to what happens. Take it more, pay attention. That's the most valuable thing you can do for your body, because your body is unique. There's a reason why when the plane goes down, they say like 125 souls went down. That's because you have a soul. There is literally nobody on the planet like you. And so never will be, never can be. And so your body's going to react differently. Obviously, a lot of things work for humans, such as breathing air. But there's some other things that's like, oh, eat this. One person has an allergy. Eat this. One person has, it's great for them. So pay attention to what you're doing with that. Brazil nuts they're great. They're nuts. Don't go too far with them, especially if you have weight issues. Ganja Boy. What a name. What kind of milk and cheese do you recommend to avoid to lower testosterone? The milk and cheese. It really doesn't matter in terms of if it's coming from a cow, the process that they use to turn it into cheese is just coagulated cow's milk, and they add in a ton of salt. It's already got a lot of sugar, and that's another reason why even with the plant-based milks, you want to be careful, because natural milk has a lot of sugar. The plant-based milks are trying to copy the natural milk, and so they're adding more sugar. Because I have, cashew milk, and cashew never tasted that sweet to me. So, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there, because we got that question came up about there any discounts for African fly. Let's go ahead and go with the AF15, African fly 15, AF15. Use that, you'll get 10% off the total order. And shout out to, I missed his name before I said, 15%. Joseph, 15%. Yep. Joseph Toussaint asked that question. So everybody, shout out to Joseph for helping folks out with that discount. AF15, African Fly 15 for 15% off. All right. Jaden, you got a couple of questions going on here, Jaden. Jaden Sharma. We make a tea with cinnamon, cardamom. Oh, yes. Ginger, nutmeg, black pepper. Little bit of milk is good to drink before sex. Okay. Everything except for that milk. I like that though, because African fly has cinnamon and ginger. I actually have some cardamom seeds that I just eat straight because I like the effects. I actually do a video on that one. Jaden also asked about soya milk. Soy milk, phytoestrogens. I heard increased timings, similar to beer. Okay, so yeah, soy milk is, especially here in the U.S., I don't recommend a lot of soy, and here's the reason why. It's processed. So just like, killing an animal is a huge process to turn it from something that was alive to something that you could serve. Turning soy into all these other soy products is problematic. And corn is the only thing that's more processed than soy. So if you're taking something that's been bastardized, it can cause some problems. So I wouldn't recommend soy, mainly because it's in so many other things. So it's if it was in its pure form, fine. But outside of that, there's a bunch of issues. Okay. Try Ripple Pea protein milk. Haven't heard of that one. Okay. Ed Charles, where can you find Ylang Ylang? Actually, Ylang Ylang can be, I get mine from Whole Foods. There are other natural food stores that you can buy. And of course, there's always Amazon. There's always Amazon. So look for that. More wisdom. What are the different gums? Gelatin gum? I'm not sure what you mean by gum. Yeah. If you can hit me up, just let me know. Just lay down a little bit more. Hey, Jayden, no problem. Josh, thoughts on raw maca root? Actually, I have the maca powder sitting over my cabinet right there. I would say check it out. and see if it works for you. I mean, I got some guys. It's just sort of a fun thing. Let me say a fun thing, but it's like when you're talking about, we guys here. When you're talking about sexual performance and stuff, it's like it's interesting. Go ahead and try African fly, try maca root, try and eat raw for a day. Don't eat for a day. There are a whole bunch of different ways, and see what works for you, because there is some formulation. It's going to be different for everybody, but you're going to want to try different things. So I would try the maca root, see how it works. IQ, would you recommend Stub 100? I'm not sure what that is. Josh Johnson, what brand of maca root? Actually, I got mine from Watering Hole. It's a local place, so I'm not sure what brand. It's the internet. Just go ahead and take a look on the internet. You always want to get the best information first, in terms of, if someone's selling you something. That's the reason why we give you so much information about African fly, is because, everyone's an individual. We want to make sure you're using it correctly, et cetera, et cetera. The same thing applies to anything else. So if you're using somebody's product, make sure you can go on their website and see, are they talking about it? Do they know there are unfortunately a lot of people who just like, oh, I'm going to start selling supplements because I lift weights, I can sell supplements. It's like, do you know what you're actually selling? Do you know what you're doing? And there's a lot of people who do not know. So you want to check them out and make sure it's a good product that is coming from a source that you can trust. Because, just because a guy, is jacked up, lifting weights and all this other kind of stuff doesn't mean he made the product. He just got it from somewhere else, slapped his name on it, and like, oh yeah, it is. So be careful. Be careful. Okay. Jade, one more question. I like sweet. I do good workouts. I like sweets. Daily. How much sugar can I consume? Okay. Dassy Kanda and Jaggery. I'm not familiar with that, Jaden, but I would say this. Sugar lowers your testosterone for a half an hour or more. So if you're constantly bombarding your body with sugar, then you're going to have testosterone issues. You're going to have erection issues. So more wisdom. Do you have an affiliate program? We have an affiliate coming soon. Not yet. Not yet. We've been trying to get that up for a hot second. We're going to make sure that happens. Thoughts on tiger nuts? Tiger nuts, fatted, didn't see too much of a huge change. So, tiger nuts. I couldn't speak to it. I don't have anything good or bad to say about tiger nuts. Jaggery is a byproduct of sugarcane like molasses. Woo. Okay. That's brown sugar. Sugar and molasses is brown sugar here in the States. But okay. Yeah. You want to be careful of jaggery if it has that sugar in it. Molasses does not make it better. Your body doesn't need carbs. It's not an essential macronutrient. So when it comes down to it, you're talking about you're adding a whole bunch of sugar to. It's like adding rocket fuel to a car. You don't need that much energy. So you want to be very careful with the sugar. Hold on one second. Desensitizer? Okay. All right. All right. All right. Thanks. Hey, appreciate you guys. Thanks, Roots. I appreciate you, bro. Yasmin, so what about potatoes? Potatoes do have a lot of sugar in them. So you do want to be careful with potatoes, especially if you're getting potatoes without the skin, because most of the nutrients in a potato is in the skin. French fries are horrible in that sense because you're getting salt, sugar, and fried oil. Yeah, be careful with that. Okay. What fruit can help with testosterone? I would say to a point, almost all fruit. And here's the thing, your body turns what you eat into you. So 70% of you is what you've eaten. That other 30% is, your what you are, in terms of height, your eye color, skin color, number of teeth, all those things are locked in. Everything else, that other 70% is what you eat. So you want to be very careful about what you eat and its effects on you. So when it comes to the fruit, always go to in a pinch is always watermelon. Outside of that, spinach. Actually did a video that talked about different foods that help with testosterone and with that. But these are the fruits and vegetables that are common to me. We got guys from all around the world. We got jaggery and other things I haven't heard of. And there are fruits all over the world. It's humans. We can, as long as we're getting plant fiber, there's 250,000 edible plants on this planet. We only got 4% going for us right now. So just make sure you get the fruits and vegetables in. And yeah, it'll happen. It's happened for thousands of years. It's just until the last 150 that we've been messing this thing all up. Brandon, do you use Ylang Ylang a few hours on? Yeah, Ylang Ylang is more for the smell. It's more for that scent. So you can use a diffuser. It's an essential oil. You can use a diffuser, and like I said, you can take some. You can put it on your wrist, like a perfume, and walk around with it. Have that smell going on. It'll help. It'll help out a lot. Corey, how can one read women better and build that sixth sense? Man, that is a completely different show. That's a good question. Woo! Wish we knew. That's a completely different show. So, yeah, unfortunately, I can't help you with that. Michael Graves, can you eat fish instead of meat? Honest answer, no. So if it was alive and is no longer moving, it means it's dead. If you're eating something that's dead, it goes into your body and it's going to do what dead things do inside of your body, which is it is going to decay. So anything decaying inside your life, it's dead. You take something dead, put it into something live. Great things are not going to happen in that situation. Mind you, you're a human. You can do this for years. I've done it. I was doing it for 40 years straight. I'm just like, oh, eat whatever, blah, blah, blah. There's points where I realize it's like, oh, again, I'm cut back. But yeah, you can eat meat for a long time. However, you're going to die painfully. That's just the other side of that. So you want to be very careful with that. Ryan Rose, what's the best advice for a man that hasn't had sex with a woman in a long time, 5 years at 41 years old? Okay. How healthy are you? Really, that's what it comes down to. So, it's sort of funny, people say sex sells, always say that doesn't make any sense. Health sells. There's not too many sexy crackheads. It's not too many sexy meth heads. So it's your health. So how healthy are you in terms of, are you getting your workout in, especially at age 41? And also, is everything working correctly down there? So, have you done, masturbating? It's a use it or lose it situation down there. So you want to make sure you're getting your health up as much as possible, especially if you're looking to have children. You're at that range where your health has to be at that high level. We're talking about 8, 9, or 10, preferably 9 or 10 at your age, because your sperm quality isn't the same as you get older. However, your sperm quality is depending on your health, not necessarily your age. Your age doesn't help out if you're getting older, but the healthier you are, the better chance you have of having good sperm and a healthy child. So, Ed Charles, how come African fly works for men and women? Our bodies are different. Yes, they are, and no, they're not. So both men and women have a level of testosterone. Men have 10 times higher level of testosterone than women. However, we know just by nature that women's testosterone level, well, basically, as they get older, the estrogen level starts coming down and the testosterone level starts revealing itself. And those are women we call cougars. They have a higher sex drive. It's not only just that, but also, typically socially, it's like, oh, don't have to worry about the kids, don't care what anybody says anymore. Yeah. So if you add testosterone to women, so if a guy is here, a woman is here, you add African fly in, the guy goes up like this, the woman tends to, it feels like this. And the reason why is because they're not used to having that level of testosterone. We have that testosterone there to run, fight, kill, whatever we're supposed to do, and then have sex. And for women, that testosterone isn't there, but when it shows up, it's special. It's special. Be prepared. Be prepared. Yeah. All right, guys, and ooh, man, y'all going deep today. Could you give a simple breathing exercise that helps with stamina? I do a breathing exercise every morning for a good 20 minutes. Also do have some eye exercise that I do. But basically, all I'm doing is breathing in for 5 seconds, holding it for 20 seconds, and breathing out for 10 seconds. And what that's actually doing is helping your body to release waste. It's called your lymphatic system. So this type of breathing helps your body to eliminate waste. How does waste leave? Through breathing. So you're basically charging your body and then breathing it out. And just doing that just helps out a lot in a lot of different ways. Even when I work out, one of the things I realize that I'm working out and I'm doing a different type of workout. I'll tell you guys about that. But while I'm doing this workout, recognizing that I'm losing weight by breathing, it turns it around. Before it was like, I'm breathing hard, it's like, it feels horrible. It's like, no. And that's, you want to get rid of that. You want to get rid of that. Well, I look forward to get rid of the waste. So, yeah, that's the breathing exercise to do. 5, 20, 10 seconds. So hold it for 20 seconds, breathe it out for 10. Okay. I think I mentioned that in the video. Hopefully that works out for you there, sir. Oh, okay. Great. Good. Thanks for answering that, Nikki. Oh, shout out to my team who's behind the scene, helping get things set up, helping to make sure we're running correctly. As always, can't leave my peoples out. Just looking through and seeing if we have anything else. Juan. Hey, Juan. Would African fly affect me on a drug and alcohol test? No, unless they're looking for something specific. So if you were doing something for the Olympics, I would say check, because it does contain yohimbe, and yohimbe could be, depending on who does it, could be listed as a performance enhancement drug. As far as illicit drugs or illegal drugs or anything like that, no. And though African fly is made out of alcohol, we're talking about taking a teaspoon, so that wouldn't show up on an alcohol test at all. Hope to answer that to you, Juan. Damon's Math Up. Can you do a video on your exercise routine? Yeah. We're looking forward to doing that. Been trying to do that for a little while. Yeah. We're going to make sure we get that out to you. So appreciate you, Damon. Michael Graves, should you detox before you start a vegetarian diet? A vegetarian diet is detoxing. And we just want to hop on this right quick. The difference between being a vegetarian, being a vegan, and being whole foods. A vegetarian, basically, you're saying that you will drink cow's milk and you will eat eggs. Vegan is none of that. Nothing coming from animals. However, they do eat highly processed plants. So Impossible Beef and Beyond Meat, all of those are highly processed plants. And then you have whole food, which is what I've been moving towards, which is just eat the fruits and vegetables. So I got my grapes and my raspberries and my blueberries down there. Had my salads today. I just enjoy waking up with no pain. That's my main thing. I went through years of waking up with pain. I don't want to do that anymore, so I eat correctly. Let me see. Am I missing? What do we got? Okay. So FRK. Uncle B, what would be a good workout routine to increase testosterone through the day or as part of your weekly exercise? All right. There are many ways to answer that. There's many ways to answer that as there are humans. But I would say the things that you want to pay attention to, as someone mentioned before, high intensity interval training is great. And the reason for that is because you're getting the whole thing of breathing very hard, very intense. That stress is what makes changes in your body and allows you to develop testosterone. Also, when you're lifting heavy, you're getting stressed. I would say do combo moves. So squats, lower extremities, your biggest muscles are in your thighs and your glutes. So if you're doing squats, deadlifts, things like that that are working that area of the body, you're going to get a huge effect in terms of your testosterone levels. Okay. Yeah. And, and I would say this one thing, we have been coddled. We've been coddled a lot. We've been told a whole bunch of things. Oh, you should only work out 3 days a week. Guys, that makes no sense. If that's the minimum that you could do, yeah, please. But in terms of you want to actually get better with your health, come on, that doesn't make any sense. It's like, hey, son, you want to pass that test? Want to pass that class? Well, you only have to study 3 days a week. No, you have to do more. You have to get better. So please feel free to do 4 or 5 days exercise, 6 or 7. If we were in the wild, you needed to get some food. You have to go move every day. This whole concept of like, nah, you take a day to do Netflix. Nah, that's new. That's new and doesn't work out well. Hey, Damon. Desmond Mays. Okay. I got you, man. Why am I coming fast? I'm 34 years old. Help. All right. Didn't see that question pop up before, Desmond, but let's go ahead and get that taken care of. All right. So if you are coming fast, first of all, that is just a hint to the girl that you're with that you really into her. That she turns you on. That's a great thing right there. However, I understand the whole concept of not being in full control of your ejaculation. So did do a video about that. Please make sure to check out the channel, check out that video. But one of the things that you want to do is to make sure that you it's about relaxation. It's about relaxation. It's also about foreplay. So if you're having more foreplay, it increases your testosterone. More testosterone, you're increasing your stamina. So in order to run for long distances, you need to have stamina. In order to have sex for a longer period of time, you need to have stamina. Both of those require testosterone. And also you want to make sure that you're relaxing. Communicate with her. It's like, hey, you turning me on, girl. So let me back up a little bit, let her know. It's like she turns you on that much. Let her know, like, hey, let's take your time. Let's have some fun with this. Okay. So those are the things, but make sure you check out the video because I got a lot more information in there with it. So, all right, guys, we're hitting that 1 hour mark. I want to make sure I get as many questions in here. Ooh, you guys are good with it. Good with it. Desmond, would the African fly help with premature ejaculation? Yes. Yes, it would. So, yeah, you can check out African fly. Check out our video. It will definitely help. Adrian, like that last name, just don't want to pronounce it. How about jogging for about 5 or 6 miles 2 or 3 times a week? Will it help with testosterone? 5 or 6 miles 2 or 3 times a week. It will depend on you. So once again, everybody's body is different. We've partnered with letsgetchecked.com. Hey, Nikki, if you can put that into the chat room. You want to check out that in terms of getting your testosterone checked, because for some guys running that long period, that distance is level of stress, is issues. If you don't have a problem with testosterone and you want to run that far, fine. If you're having problems with testosterone, please make sure you get your testosterone checked. Maybe take a week where it's like, okay, I didn't jog this week, so let me test out my testosterone. Go ahead and jog for a couple of weeks. Test it after that. Just see where you are. That's really the best way to figure it out. For some guys, some guys are just born naturally with a range of testosterone somewhere from 800 to 1500. Some guys not. So if you can jog and it's not causing you any problems, go for it. Go for it. All right. Roots, Melanin Plus, Uncle B, what foods? Oh, I missed that question. All right, let me go ahead and answer this question right quick as I get that melanin and get back to you. How long does it take for the shipping of African fly or delivery of African fly if you order online? Depends on where you live. We ship by United States Postal Service. You can order regular, which would take you about 3 days. Priority, which is 2 to 3 days. International, it's 7 to 10 days. We tend to ship the same day. Typically, if you get your order in before 2 or 3 o'clock, we'll get that out 2 o'clock. A shipping manager just made sure 2. I said 2. So it'll be going out at 2 o'clock daily, except for Sunday, of course. All right. Let me see. It looks like, did I get the questions? Let me see. Is anybody else? Oh yeah. Roots. What foods to eat before exercise? Because I get tired fast. All right. Well, a couple of things. I'm not sure about the entire situation. Typically, I like to eat fasted. Eat fasted. I like to exercise fasted. But in terms of eating before exercise, you really don't want to. If you're going to eat before exercise, make sure you do it like a good 2 hours beforehand, because eating actually tires your body out. I mean, you think about it. You're taking something and you're sticking it into your body, and your body's going through the entire process of turning that into you or waste, either coming out of your mouth or defecation, urination. So it doesn't seem hard to us. We just stick it in and everything, it just takes over. But that's a process for your body. That's the reason why I tell you not to go swimming right after you've eaten. So the same thing applies. I don't recommend eating right before you have sex. I don't recommend eating right before you go to the gym. Now, if you're getting tired while you're in the gym, it's a question of what exercise are you doing? And 2, what were you eating before that? So you want to make sure that you're getting the fruits and vegetables in there, something light, bananas, things like that, so that you can function correctly. If we talked about protein shakes. If you're taking a protein shake, it has a lot of sugar in it. For some guys, it could just take you up and then take you down. Other people just love you shakes too daggone much, man. Come on, let the shakes go, bruh. Let it go. Oh, Adrian. Okay. Oh, yeah. Adrian, bruh. Yes. Let's go ahead and take that weight down, man. I'm serious about that because I've been there. I think I maxed out at 285. And I know that whole thing of getting up slow, moving slow, things aching when you're not supposed to ache, all this other kind of stuff. I feel you, bro. Yeah, get on to it. And make sure to check out the video I did about health and fitness and the difference. I want to make sure that you're healthy first, because sometimes people just go straight out. I'm just go straight exercise. And it's like, hey, you have a bunch of things going on inside your body that you need to take care of. Typically, we're just talking about just eating better. Once you start eating better, you're less inflammation issues. You'll be able to exercise without issues. Okay. You fast for 16 hours. Okay. Right. You good. Hey, that intermittent fasting. I love it. I love it. Big Coop, what do you think about the fasting process? It's well worth doing it. One of the most interesting things, new science, is that when you fast, the inner lining of everything from the rooty to the tootie, that whole tube that goes through your body, it starts reforming mucus. And this mucus is used to help when the food gets broken down, it helps your body absorb into the rest of your body. So if you're constantly eating, you're constantly pushing stuff through your body gets worn out, things get worn out. You want to go ahead and eat correctly so you don't have that issue. So, all right, guys. That's about it. We're about to bounce off of here. Make sure you go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Check out AfricanFly.com. Make sure you check out the videos that we have Thursdays. We got the 10 a.m. video that comes out. And then, of course, we talk about it at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yep. And yeah, if you want to go ahead and check out some of the links there in terms of the testosterone test and everything like that, please go for it. And if you want to order, go ahead and use that coupon code AF15 to take 15% off. Hey, I appreciate everybody for coming on. I will see you next time. Before you go, how do you feel about people taking enhancement pills? Oh no. Don't do that. Those gas station pills and everything. Oh, that video is coming out next week, I believe. I actually talk about those pills and everything. You got to be very careful about that. You don't want to take, especially those rhino pills. Those have been banned. The Rhino 5000 and other ones. Yeah. The FDA is already trying to get those out of the country. So, all right. Protein shakes, plant-based protein shakes. It's better to eat the plants. It's that simple. If you're taking that protein shake and it tastes like a lot of sugar, that's because they're trying to hook you on the sugar. All right. Hey, so FRK, appreciate you. More wisdom, appreciate you. Everybody, Brooklyn Bees, Josh Johnson, Bruce Mellon. Hey, appreciate all of you guys. See you next week. Until then, this is Uncle B saying, get your game up. Peace out.